Alright, what up Finntastics, Aleksi here, bringing you another Finntastic live stream here from Helsinki, Finland. And today I have gathered again some of questions you want me to ask on answer on the live stream, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. Let me just put my screen back online. I think now it should be okay. So yeah, we'll just wait for until the people come. But yeah, as you can see, the topic of the video is like about are Finns really introverted or extroverted? So we're talking about that for a bit first, and then I will take some questions you guys send me through on Instagram, and I'll answer those. And we have a little bit shorter schedule today, and we're starting a bit earlier also because Finland is in the World Ice Hockey World Championships finals against Canada, and that's going to be in a few hours. So we definitely want to focus on that as well. I hope we are actually getting some people. So if you are watching the live stream, let me know in the chat where are you watching this. At least I have 12 on the screen now, but no comments so far. I hope everything's fine with the... Okay, now we got something, yeah. Alright. We have Saekka, we have Stefan, we have Loredana is also here, Lydia is also here. Tervetuloa kaikille päivän live streamiin. Alem is also here. So yeah, let me know in the chat where you're watching this one. So, but yeah, before, like, just without further ado, let's just talk about this. Let's go into the questions right away. So I got this question. I think it was from actually one of my friend Mattia, and he asked like, are Finns mostly introverts or extroverts? And I think people might keep this or consider this like a no-brainer. Of course Finns are introverts, like they're so shy, they never talk to you unless they're drunk, and they don't really start conversations. And that's kind of true. I mean, Finns are kind of considered reserved, and as a Finn I can also agree to this to some extent. But there's a few things which I quickly want to kind of address here. And by the way, I'll check your questions and comments in a little bit because I'm not really good at multitasking when I'm streaming. So yes, it is true that Finns don't really come talk to you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Finns are introverted. I mean, the problem with Finnish, or like what's the problem with this kind of Finnish social culture and stuff, is that we just don't start the conversations. But once we enter the conversations, we are part of the conversations, then Finns are actually quite talkative. They have some really insightful comments, thoughts, and so on. And I've had a number of awesome small talks with Finns like regularly. I mean, almost like weekly. But the problem is that no one just says anything. But if someone has the courage to say something or make the comment on something and start the stuff, then you can actually get some pretty fun interactions. For example, one of them was today in a long distance train. I was in Tampere, came back to Helsinki, and for example, the ticket inspector was really funny. And then I also sat to this really nice girl next to me, and we had like a nice chat during the trip. And that being said, it's also very important to keep in mind that there are just a number of people who are not interested, and that also applies to us Finns. I mean, for example, sometimes when I start to talk to some people or some girls, they just aren't. There's a big number of people who just are not just interested, and it's even for us Finns difficult to get conversations and kind of this small talk. So it's not only like a foreigner thing. Yeah, of course, most likely it's a little bit more challenging for foreigners, but what my point is, we Finns also kind of have the problem. For example, I kind of consider myself like a social guy. I haven't always been a social guy. I had to practice and learn it though. But once I kind of managed to build up a little bit of confidence and start talking to people, I still get kind of rejected often, and people just don't want to talk. That's normal. It's normal. It's like numbers game. So if you want to make friends with Finns or find a Finnish girl for a boyfriend, you will get rejected a lot. We Finns also get rejected. It's just part of the nature. So, and sometimes when you keep talking, you eventually find those open-minded, international-minded people who want to talk to you, and that's the point. So, and to get back to the original question about introversion, extroversion, my kind of, what's the, mikä se nyt on suomeksi, en mä muista enää. So my point is that Finns are not necessarily introverted, but in our culture, it's so highly ingrained to our behavior that we just don't start to talk to people. But once we get to talk to people, it can be actually very cool. So the people who are active, they go talk to people, they go to events, you know, do kind of these kind of things. They will most likely find these kind of open-minded people. Sometimes you might get approached. I mean, if you make like, for example, if you were, there was once this kind of group of foreigners who were wearing like these funny costumes, and people were like, hey, what's this costumes about? And it kind of drew attention and stuff. Well, you don't really have to dress like a clown to attract Finns, definitely not. But yeah, this is kind of the point. So yeah, okay. Now you might impose the question: what if I'm not like a social person. I'm shy myself, and I don't have the courage to talk to people. So what can I do then? Well, of course it's going to be a little bit difficult because Finland is like Finnish people. With Finnish people, you need to be active. You most likely you need to take the action, and it's the same for me as a Finn. I always have to take the action first when it comes to like to this social stuff. No one ever approaches me first. Was it girls or, you know, these kind of things. So that's kind of the thing. That's what I would say. So are Finns really introverted or extroverted? Well, they might be a little bit introverted, but they are not as introverted as you might think first. So it's just about the fact that we Finns don't start the conversations first. And you need to do it yourself. And also you will get rejected. There are just a number of people who are just not interested. And that's what I do. And keep in mind, it's also difficult for us Finns. Okay, let me take out some questions. Have you always not been confident? I haven't always been confident. When I was in my early 20s, I was like shy as fuck. Okay, I know it's a bit bad word, but I was really shy, and because I was bullied at school, so I had no confidence, especially with girls, and I just had to learn it. Kind of the hard way, but I'm glad I did. It has helped me quite a bit. Kommer du till oss här i Sverige like a meet and greet? Det är ju en intressant idé, men jag vet inte när jag kan göra det. Okay. Finns talk only more they're drunk. Yeah, that's true, but isn't that in every culture, right? So in every culture, when people get drunk, you know, the thresholds get lower, and you know, no more inhibits. The world seems like more fun place. So isn't that in every culture? So this is something what I kind of feel bad sometimes, that Finns are often depicted as drunk, but in other countries you also drink quite a bit, right? And Finland isn't even one of the top countries for the booze consumption anyways, at least that I know of. Alright, do we have any questions? I noticed that the Finns are also very loud when they travel in groups. Is that really so? Well, some definitely are. There are always these kind of outliers. Probably if it's like a weekend, you're going for the night out, and if they're drunk, especially then they can get drunk. Veronica says, hey Aleksi, terve Veronica. I know guys are honest, and that helps. Even if you get rejected, that's it. That's at least people don't pretend something they are not. Yeah, that's the thing. Yes, I've noticed it too. Noticed what? Okay, I'm just wanted to make sure to which comment you are aiming your answer there. There's no flirting in between. Where is no flirting? I love flirting, by the way. All right. More from Slovenia. Why did you decide to make your channel? It's so cool. Them being in loud group. Okay. So Sarka confirms it. All right. So if Sarka confirms it, then it has to be true. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay. So interesting. But the point is that I know many foreigners who have made decent friends, like really good friends in Finland, like foreigners. So it's I mean, you have to, it's just numbers game. I mean, sometimes you might get lucky, sometimes you might get rejected, but the point is, what I can kind of advise you to, if we are talking about making friends and getting to know Finns, is to go to places where Finnish people, this kind of open-minded international people are. We actually talked about that last week. That would be Kiva if you decide to have a meet and greet. I can travel to Suomi. Anyways, would you like to meet in Finland? Learn so much. Kids for your answer. You are fluent in Trilla. I'm not really fluent in Swedish though. My Swedish is kind of rusty. And I'm actually planning to make a meet and greet here in Helsinki probably next month. I'll try to make a video, like a post about that. I noticed with Finnish guys in the beginning, they are shy, don't even look at you, they don't talk, and then after a couple of years, boom, I do all things to you. Awesome. I can definitely, I can think this is pretty much true. Yeah, but you know, there are these sorry guys. Oh yeah. But there are also these kind of social confident guys who could say the same when they're sober. So all right, of course you have to kind of be decent and not too forward and not too creepy with that, but yeah, so there are a small number of Finns who are like socially savvy and stuff, but it's not like a national characteristic, I'd say. Okay, thus far I've realized one thing, at least when it comes to Finnish women: just approach, be cool and honest, and it works wonders. Very good, very good. I love this. Finns are cool when you break the ice. No pun intended. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You just be friendly, be like cool, be relaxed, and I think that's it might sound like a really kind of cliche, abstract advice, but I think it's true. I mean, if you're just like cool, you don't seem like creepy, don't get too close and touch like this, you know. So I think then you should be doing good stuff. Okay, so this is what I would answer about this, like introversion, extroversion. There are also extroverted Finns here and there. For example, one of my female friends is like very extroverted. She's a very outgoing girl, and I just met her randomly in like a student party when I was living in Tampere. And I was really happy because she's a really cool person to hang out with and stuff. Okay, let me check out more questions from Instagram. By the way, just to remind you again, if there's something if you want to support the channel, you want to make sure that I get to read your message, you can also send a super chat by the $sign, and you get this like big colorful message, and I will definitely check out those. But I will focus on the Instagram ones first, because this is what we got through the Instagram. Claudia Gonska, I hope I pronounced it correctly, says, Finland has a lot of potential, but I have the feeling that it is quite shy to sell itself to the world. And there's also a follow-up question: how could Finland sell itself better to the world? And there was also a question in the comments like why I started this channel, and this is actually one of the reasons. I completely agree that Finland isn't really good at marketing, because we have a lot of awesome stuff like the nature, the Lapland, the Santa Claus, the sauna, the naked sexy Finnish guys and stuff. Oh, Parlam Jolly joined the Finntastic squad. Awesome. All right. I got scared again. But the thing is that we are not promoting this enough to the world, and this is exactly what I want to do also with my channel. That is why I'm doing these videos for you guys, because I know we have a lot of awesome stuff, but people just don't really know about them. And YouTube is a very easy way to reach people around the world who are interested in Finland. That's one of the reasons. And why is this? I think we are just too humble. I mean, and this is it's definitely gonna be our doom, because you know, selling is an important. If you don't sell stuff, you never make money for people to buy. So this is definitely something that Finland is definitely like this. Cindy highlights sexy Finnish guys, naked sexy Finnish guys. Don't forget that one. So those guys who say stuff because they are shy, don't know how to talk women, or because they're players. Hold on, let me read this again. So, say that stuff. What was that stuff? Okay, I need to prove. They're shy and they know how to talk to women and because they're players. I mean, I'm not quite sure what that means, but of course they are the shy guys, and then I think in every country there's this called players who know how to talk to girls, and they do it like regularly and stuff. So I don't, yeah, I guess that's the thing. But yeah, getting back to the selling thing, yeah, this is the problem most likely. I'd do all those things to you. Yeah, well, there are these confident guys who are good with ladies, so most likely. All right, let's take the next question. This is a question by Jay in a teacup. Are people allowed to swim in any lake around Finland? And I believe the answer is yes, because we have this everyman's right, which says that there's actually a number of things to this one, but basically it means that everyone is allowed to roam freely in the forests, set a camp in the forest, pick flowers, berries, set a camp, and I think it also includes swimming in the lakes. What you can't do is you can't enter, for example, someone's property and enter the weather there. That would be kind of creepy. But if there's like a open beach or some way to get to the water, that's definitely doable. Maybe Sayaka or another thing can also confirm this, but I think it's true. Alright, let me take a few comments. Been trying to learn Finnish for a few months now, but I can't find free material. I will join an app to meet Finns and learn them, but the thing is that I'm the only one always. I'm not sure which app you're talking about, but try these. italki is good for one-on-one tutoring, Hello Talk, and what's the one? Tandem. These are some of the apps where you can find Finns for language exchange. Okay, that's a very good question. Let's see. Jay in a teacup. Another question. What is the best clothing attire for end of June, July? Most likely it's going to be very warm. So t-shirts, shorts is completely fine. We Finns don't really care about like showing off some skin. So for example, like the sleeveless tops for women are completely okay, and short shirts also, and skirts and stuff. But if it's rainy, then of course you want to maybe have jeans, maybe a little bit like sweater or something that protects you from the rain or windy weather. I think that's it. Like we Finns are not really nitpicky, or we don't really judge people from their clothing. I mean, so if you well, of course there are people who might say something, but it's not really a thing. So, but my point is that there's no really restrictions as long as you have like you're wearing enough, so you're not cold, you're not wearing cold, and you're also comfortable. That's pretty much what I would say. Okay, let's take one question from the chat. Cindy asks, did you recognize a difference in the behavior of Finns in Helsinki compared to Tampere, especially when it comes? I don't really know. I haven't really had that much experience. I think maybe in Helsinki it's a little bit easier because Helsinki is more international minded. But I can't really say. I would maybe even say that in Helsinki it's been a little bit more difficult, especially with girls. But I don't really know. Maybe I think I need to do more research on this. I could imagine it's a bit easy in Helsinki because of a hotspot. Yeah, that's true. Definitely. Internationally, it's it's much easier, I'd say. Okay, good stuff. Let's take the next Instagram question. Okay, Frank Olodny asks, is it true that the state rewards people with money in exchange of studying there as a foreigner? I think that is false. I mean, the state gives money to students who are either Finnish citizens or have permanent residency. Then you are eligible for the student allowance, which is around 500 euros a month, if I understood the question. All right. Painted Lady M16 asks, making a good impression with potential Finnish in-laws. Okay, this is interesting. Again, my quick advice is just be cool, be like relaxed, don't be a douchebag. I mean, be respectful and so on. So, I mean, with Finnish in-laws and Finnish family members, I wouldn't say there's not really big kind of pitfalls or anything you would have to careful. Just be there, interested in them, ask questions, you know, be respectful. I mean, there's no really something special that you would have to kind of be careful about or something like this. Okay, let's take something else. Okay. Anyway, statistics based on this very small population are quite inaccurate simply because you don't have enough data. For instance, the happiest country in the world thingy. Yeah, well, you can definitely check out how the world happiest country stuff is carried out, and they definitely. I've checked out the report, and I made actually a video about this, how they do this stuff. But Finland has 5.5 million people, so I definitely think this is more than enough to create some sort of statistical conclusion. But I don't really remember how they do that, but they definitely have to make some kind of comparison between the countries. All right, let's take the next question from Instagram. Are there distinct regional dialects in Finland? Yes, absolutely. So in Lapland they have their own, in eastern Finland they have their own, and in Tampere area they also have their own. There's a few more, but for example, I don't really have any kind of strong regional dialect, and I think usually Helsinki people don't also have. It's kind of like this general accent or general dialect, I guess. But we definitely do have. That's a good question. Good question, guys. Let's see. Maybe talk about hotels, hostels, Airbnb, cheapest choice for lodging. Okay, so this was from Spooky from Hell. Thanks for the question. So quick point for this one. Hotels are goddamn expensive in Finland. If you're planning to come to Helsinki for holidays, I strongly advise to avoid hotels because they are just like a huge hole for your wallet. Instead, Airbnb is a great option, especially if you're coming with a family or like a friends or stuff. But if you're traveling by yourself, I think then maybe some hostels might be a good choice, especially if you like hostels. Hostels are kind of okay, but hotels are for the rich people, unfortunately. So that's what I would say. Let's look at the chat. What's the thing Finnish guys most like to hear? All the love from you from Portugal. It's really difficult. I can't really generalize these kind of things, but what I would say, especially as a guy, I would definitely appreciate if women would be more direct. If they're interested, it would be cool if they express that somehow, because sometimes guys have to kind of read the body language and these kind of things to figure out if they're interested. So if a girl invited me out for a date, like, hey, would you be interested to hang out for grab a beer? That would be great. So just being honest, being forward, being bold, being confident, that's something I'd say. Hey Alex, you look kind of Ryan Phillip. Haha. All right, thanks for the comment. All right, let's take a next question. How spicy? This is from Stefan Santoki 3 from Instagram. How spicy is too spicy for Finns? Tried cooking my food and they always say it's too hot. Okay, I think Finns are not really a big fan of spicy food, but there are definitely people who are. For example, I don't really like spicy food that much, but for example, my brother likes kind of spicy stuff. So it's like a personal preference. You just kind of have to ask that in order to find that out. That's a good question. Karina Bacatini asks, go to Finland in October or not? Well, October is kind of boring country because we're heading towards the winter. It's kind of cold, gray, rainy and stuff. Not definitely the best season to come to Finland though, but I would either wait until the winter, when it's like proper winter, or the next summer probably. That's a good question, by the way. Thanks for the question. Finny Ladybugs asks, are you tipsy every day? Unfortunately, I'm not. Sometimes you might just... this weekend was kind of like a hectic, so I was a little bit tipsy there, but... Alright. let's have a look at the chat. How can you guys do to get through the polar night? Is it tough time? It is actually. I think I've made a video about this, how to survive Finnish winter. You just need to keep yourself engaged, like have hobbies, activities, do sports. You take vitamin D. You can also have these like bright lamps at home to kind of mimic the sunlight. Dress enough. But about the polar nights, well, the polar night isn't really here in Helsinki, but in Lapland there is like a period where the sun doesn't even, the sun doesn't, aurinko nousee, mikä se on? The sun doesn't come up. Okay, Saikka says, I'd say that as long as the food isn't so hot that you can taste anything other than burning, then it should be okay. Okay, good stuff. All right, let's take next question from Instagram. Oh, I just need to open my phone. Okay, Sabari Peace Human asks, what Finnish girls think about Indians and other countrymen who they find attractive? Okay, I get these kind of questions quite a bit, and what I can just say is that it's not about the nationality, but more about how you are as a person. I mean, this is where it comes ultimately. So, of course, some Finnish women might not be so interested in foreigners, but there are definitely a lot of girls who are. I know a lot of Finnish girls who are either married or engaged or who have a foreign boyfriend. And actually, I think foreigners have the upper hand because Finnish guys are not so... They don't approach that much, so there's not much competition here. And most of the Finnish guys who do approach are either drunk or do that at the clubs. So, for example, if you can approach in the street or in the during the day, I think that's a great way to stand out and meet some Finnish girls. All right, so, but yeah, I mean, there are definitely girls who want to or who are interested dating in foreign guys. All right, interesting questions, guys. I think we have some. How can I find a job in Finland as a foreigner by Dama Purpura? Okay, I made several videos about this, so what I would just say is go check out the playlist. There's a Work in Finland playlist, so I think you can get the answers there. And there's Mona Ra asks, do you think it's easy to get a job as a sales assistant? What about finding... Okay, sales assistant. So, okay, what I just quickly say to this is that if you need to interact with Finns or with people which are Finns mostly in Finland, then they usually require Finnish skills. And unless you don't have really good Finnish skills, then I think it might be challenging. But if it's like a business, if it's like an international business, then of course the situation changed completely. So, but yeah, so if it's an international company, then, well, I mean, why not? There are definitely these companies who hire a lot of foreigners here. All right, I hope that helps. Okay, Alaina Anttila asks, are there any nude beaches in Helsinki or Espoo that are not separated by gender? Okay, interesting questions. Actually, I asked about this today, and there are definitely some nude beaches, but unfortunately, I haven't been to any of those. Maybe that's a topic for another video, in case you're interested. But there are definitely nude beaches in Helsinki area. But I think we need to look that up. All right, very very interesting stuff. Okay, I think there's a few more questions. Thanks, by the way, everyone who sent the questions. Thank you so much. So I really appreciate it. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So I think we can take a few more questions from the chat before we wrap up the live stream. Okay, there's one more. Chiara Poma. I hope I said that correctly. What is the best way to go from Helsinki to Lapland, Rovaniemi or Kemi? I would probably take the plane, because the train is the second option and it takes like 10 hours and costs like goddamn 100 euros almost, I think. But the plane is like it's very quick, like 45 minutes, and it's actually quite cheap. It's not that much. It can be even cheaper or the same price as the train, so that's what probably I would take. Lol, such fired. What's going on? Of course, beaches for skinny dipping. Exactly, and with other people. That would be actually fun to do, I guess. Going to a nude beach, you know. You have to try everything once. That's kind of one of my mottos in life. Okay, I'll take some questions from the chat now. What do you think about Turku? I will go there to study in August. Any suggestions? I haven't actually been to Turku, which sounds kind of sad, but Turku is like an okay city. It's not as outgoing as Helsinki, but I think it should be quite okay. It has quite a bit of history because it's the former capital. Loredana's joke. Yeah, I've actually heard that joke before. Yeah, I think it was in Finnish Nightmares, maybe. Okay. Is it hard to be vegan in Finland? Actually, I don't think so, because there's a lot of organic foods which are not that expensive, and pretty much in every supermarket and grocery store you can find this vegan or this organic. I'm not even is organic. I think organic doesn't equal vegan, but yeah, okay. But my point is that I think vegan stuff is actually very well handled in Finland. If there's any vegan who is living in Finland in the chat, let me know. Let me know. Let us know if this is actually true. All right. Much love from North Carolina. Thanks you. Do you know the Dudesons? Yes, and I've actually even met one of the Dudesons. I think everyone knows Dudesons. They are quite famous. My face looks kind of purple, but because it's a little bit dark outside, but I'm still the same sexy Finnish guy, so don't worry. All right, enough of me. Let's take the next question. There are plenty of vegan restaurants in Finland. That's also true. Claudia Gonzalez Caceres, hope I pronounced it correctly, asks, I'm going to Helsinki this summer and I want to hang out with Finnish guys. Finnish guys. Okay, well, if you're traveling in Finland and you want to meet Finnish guys or girls, or like you want to hang out, maybe have a date, Tinder is definitely good for that. So Tinder is very, very useful, especially if you're a girl. So I'd say, of course, Tinder can be a little bit, there's definitely these kind of weird, creepy guys, but you can definitely meet some decent guys also on Tinder. That's definitely what I would suggest. That's the easiest way, definitely. What else? What I would just do is I try to approach if I see like a interesting guy. You can actually do it anywhere. We are just not used to it, so we might be positively surprised. At least if I go to talk to a girl in the daytime, engage, and they might say like, oh, this is not really. This doesn't really happen that often, but that's why they like it, because they are these cool people. Well, okay, I don't refer to myself as cool, but there are these people who know who can talk to people in the daytime. That's good. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a good advice though, but Tinder, going out to festivals, events, you can definitely find a lot of these in Helsinki, and so on. In your next video, can you teach us some Finnish advanced verbs? Okay, that's an interesting idea. I think I can write that down. It's not too hard to be a vegan in Finland. Coming from a Finnish vegan, especially in Helsinki, it's not. I live more to north near Oulu, however, but yeah, in cities there are more vegan restaurants. Okay, thanks for the insights, SM Who or Ho. SM Ho, onkohan tää suomalainen taitaa olla. Okay, we have 33 people, that's pretty nice. We are actually doing the stream a little bit earlier than usual because we have the Finland versus Canada World Ice Hockey Championships starting in 1 hour, so we have to kind of make things a little bit earlier. Unfortunately, it's very rainy here in Helsinki at the moment, and they have this huge screen in Kauppatori where people can go watch. I was actually thinking about going there, but looking at the weather, it doesn't really look that appealing. So maybe I'll just organize a kisastudio, which is like this, you know. Mikä olisi kisastudio englanniksi? Olisiko se mikä olisi hyvä termi? I wonder what's Kisa Studio. Well, basically, Kisa Studio is like where you set up like this studio, like a, you know, studio is sounds a bit, it's like a filming studio. I don't really. Well, basically, you said Kisa Studio means that you just meet up with your friends and watch the game. To put it very simple. Oletko arpunut liput Tubeconiin? Joo, mä en ole vielä ehtinyt tulla Instan puolesta mainita, mutta on mä en ole saanut vielä voittajia yhteyttä, niin katsotaan tuleeko sieltä. Viewing party, yeah. Watching party. You're spectating the game. I think user studio is fine. Really? Studiosta tulee jotenkin semmonen niinku kuvausstudio tai filmistudio, viba. En tiedä, voi olla että en ole väärässä. Okay. Alright, great. Good stuff, guys. Very interesting stuff. And I think, do we have more? Let me just scroll if I can see the other. Girls are laughing at the skinny dipping. Well, if you have the chance to go to swim with sexy Finnish guys, you should be. Haha. All right. I love these topics. Apparently, Finns eat the most ice cream out of everyone in Europe. Oh, really? Oh, that's an interesting statement. I actually don't know if it's true. It might be true. We do like ice cream, especially in the summer. It's actually a good thing. Maybe I should look that up. Good. Yeah, there's no dropped frames. All right. Okay, guys. I think we can take a few more questions, and then we will wrap up this live stream. Okay, Loredana B says, I have this Finnish colleague from I've been talking to a lot. He was even hitting on me at one point. Oh, look at you. But when he came here, he was barely speaking to me or other people in the office he knew. Oh. When he was hitting on you, was that like chatting like remotely or what? How did it go out? Because I'm not actually surprised like when people are like you are chatting. I think Finns feel like they're confident, but when you actually meet them face to face, like their social skills go down the crapper. So actually, I wouldn't be even surprised if this was the case. He started to warm up a bit towards the end of the visit, and he was talking to me on Skype, although he was in the same office. God damn it. Cindy says, huggy emoji, good luck later on. I'll sure watch the game as well, keeping my fingers crossed for Finland. Gute Scheiße. Sehr good. Any suggestions on interesting Finnish movies? I think I should make a video about this because I get this question quite a bit, and actually my knowledge on good Finnish movies is actually a little bit limited because I don't think we have that many good movies. On Skype he's always super cool and has the right words, but in real life he barely speaks. Oh, that's definitely a problem. Oh, that's a definitely sounds well. Of course, when you see him live, like face to face, that's when we are kind of genuine. It's really difficult to be fake, but you can actually see that quickly. So if that seems to be the case, I think I would just find another sexy Finnish guy. Not sure if that guy was sexy, but all right. Okay, very interesting stuff. I hope my answers. Let's see. I think this looks better. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think we can wrap up this live stream now. Unless I think we don't have any more new questions. Okay. So thanks for the question, guys. So I hope you got some interesting insights insights to Finnish people, Finnish language, and Finnish culture. Well, Finnish culture. We didn't cover that much Finnish language today, but it's okay. We'll do another video. So the next video will be next Wednesday. Again, I'm actually already editing. It's gonna be a very interesting one, by the way. And yeah, so if you haven't followed me on Facebook, we have actually a Facebook group, Finntastic Facebook group. You can join with the link in the description, and also follow me on Instagram, because you see like everyday Finnish live there, every day of Finnish life with stories and cool posts. So make sure to do that. And let's just hope Finland will kick ass tonight and take the gold medal, and that will be the 3rd gold medal in ice hockey. We hope we'll get some good stuff in the game. It's going to be a tough game, but I think Finland has I think we have a chance. We already beat Canada once, but that can be definitely, it can be also an obstacle, because I think Canada might be like upping up their game since the last game. Okay, kiitos kaikille. Thanks everyone. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you later. So moro.